You're closer to your goal than you think, but the journey can feel long and overwhelming at times. Have you ever felt like giving up, questioning whether all the effort is even worth it? It's easy to get distracted, to lose sight of why you started, especially when obstacles seem to keep stacking up. But the truth is, staying focused on your goal is the only thing that will get you to where you want to be. In this video, I'm going to show you how to keep pushing forward, even when things get tough. I'll share practical steps to help you maintain your discipline, build momentum, and stay motivated, no matter how difficult the path may seem. If you've ever struggled to stay on track or felt like quitting, this is for you. Stay with me, because your breakthrough is just ahead. Commit to your goal every single day without hesitation. Staying focused on your goal starts with one decision, a real one. Not something you say to impress others, not something you write down once and forget. I'm talking about a real, quiet decision deep in your gut where no one can see it. You don't need to announce it. You don't need anyone to clap for you. You just need to make the decision and mean it. Most people don't commit. They try, they dabble, they touch the edges of their goals like it's a game. Then they pull away the moment it gets hard. That's not commitment. Commitment is when you decide that this goal, this thing you want, matters more than your comfort, more than your laziness, more than your old patterns. It matters more than your doubt. That's what separates those who finish from those who quit. Every day you've got two choices. You either wake up and say, I'm doing what it takes, or you lie to yourself and say, I'll get serious tomorrow. Most people spend their life waiting for motivation. They think they need to feel ready. But the truth is, motivation is cheap. It fades. Discipline is what builds your life. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline shows up anyway. You have to wake up every day and recommit to your goal. Not once a month, not once a year, every single day. Because every day your mind will give you reasons to slow down. Every day you'll face 100 small choices that pull you off track. And if you're not locked in, if you haven't decided deep down that you're in this no matter what, those little choices will win. You'll drift. You'll break promises to yourself. You'll shrink. And after a while, you won't even recognize who you are anymore. That's why you commit. Because you're not trying to impress the world. You're trying to become someone you can respect when you look in the mirror. That's what focus is. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. It's quiet, steady, personal. It's what you do when no one's watching. When it's just you and your choices. When it's easier to fall back into old habits and you say no. You say, I've come too far to go back. If your goal is real, it's going to cost you something. It will demand time. It will demand energy. It will force you to give up certain comforts. It might cost you some friendships. It might shake your confidence. But if it matters to you, then it's worth it. The price of success is always paid in full, up front. You don't get to skip the hard days. You don't get to take shortcuts. You show up. Every day, whether it's easy or not. You can't keep treating your goal like it's optional. If it's optional, you'll never get there. You'll make excuses. You'll fall for distractions. You'll say things like, I'm just too busy, or this isn't the right time. But deep down, you know the truth. You've had enough time. You've had enough chances. What you need is a new level of honesty. You need to say, I've been inconsistent. I've let myself off the hook. But starting today, I'm done doing that. You can't build a strong life on weak habits. You can't build confidence if you keep breaking promises to yourself. That's why the first commitment has to be personal. Not to your friends, not to your coach, not to your audience, to you. You're the one who has to live with your choices. You're the one who knows when you're lying to yourself. And you're the one who has to carry the consequences of quitting too early. So commit fully, without holding back, without hesitating, and not just when things feel good, especially when they don't. Commitment isn't tested when you're excited. It's tested when you're tired, when you're stressed, when you're doubting everything. That's when it counts. That's when you find out if this goal really matters to you, or if it was just something you said to pass the time. You want to change your life. Stop negotiating with your own excuses. Stop giving yourself an easy way out. Set a standard and hold yourself to it. Don't ask if you feel like it. Ask if it moves you closer to your goal. That's the filter. That's the focus. You've got to remember why you started. Not just once, over and over. Because the world is loud. Distractions are everywhere. People will doubt you. Some will laugh. Others won't take you seriously. But that's not your job. Your job is to stay committed. Your job is to show up. Your job is to prove to yourself that you can finish what you started, and don't expect overnight results. This isn't fast. This isn't easy, but that's the point. The longer it takes, the more it builds you, the more it stretches you, the more it separates you from the old version of yourself. And that's what real growth feels like. It's not pretty, it's not comfortable, but it's real. Commitment is messy. Some days you'll crush it, other days you'll barely hold it together. But what matters is you don't quit. You don't let one bad day turn into a bad week. You don't disappear when things get hard. You stay, you fight, you rise. And each day you do that, you earn more respect for yourself. That kind of confidence can't be faked. It's built. You're not trying to impress anyone. You're trying to become someone who knows how to keep going. Someone who doesn't fold under pressure. Someone who doesn't need applause or permission. Someone who knows what they want and is willing to go through whatever it takes to get it. That kind of focus changes you. It gives your life structure. It builds your discipline. It makes you dangerous in a good way. You become the kind of person people look up to, not because you're flashy, but because you're consistent. You don't talk too much. You work. You move in silence. You're present. You're sharp. And most importantly, you're reliable to yourself. People respect those who show up for themselves, not the ones who post about goals, but never follow through. Not the ones who change their plans every week. The ones who do the work, quietly, repeatedly, steadily. You want to stand out in today's world? Just stay consistent. Just stay focused. That alone makes you rare. Most people quit, not because it's impossible, but because they never committed in the first place. They never said, no matter what, I'm in. They never created a plan. They never set boundaries. They let life pull them in every direction. And then they blame the world for their results. That's not you anymore. You've seen what happens when you drift. You know the cost of waiting. You've felt the pain of regret. And now you're ready to take control. You don't need more time. You don't need more motivation. You need to stop playing with your goal and start living it. It needs to be part of who you are. Not something you check off a list, but something you breathe, something you carry, something that drives you every single day. You have to organize your life around your goal. That means your time, your energy, your habits, your focus. You've got to protect your time. You've got to say no to things that pull you off track. You've got to train your mind to stay on task, even when the world throws noise at you. That's focus. That's power. That's what gets results. And the more you practice this, the stronger you get. You stop wasting time. You stop second guessing. You stop comparing yourself to others. And you start owning your path, fully, with pride, with grit, with clarity. If you want to succeed, you have to get serious. You have to stop treating your goal like a side project. This is your life we're talking about. This is your time, your future, your potential. No one's coming to push you. No one's coming to hold your hand. It's on you now. And that's a good thing. That means you have control. So decide, not tomorrow, not next week, now. Decide that this goal matters more than your excuses. Decide that you're going to keep going, no matter what. Decide that no one is going to outwork you. Not because you want to be better than them, but because you want to be better than the version of you that gave up too soon. You've got what it takes. You just have to stop holding back. You have to stop hiding from the work. Stop doubting your ability. Show up. Not once, not twice, every day. Show up with intention, with purpose, with strength. And watch how things start to change. This is how you build a life. One focused day at a time. One committed step at a time. You keep your word. You build your habits. You sharpen your discipline. You remind yourself why it matters. And you never look back. So if you want this, prove it. Not with your words, with your actions, with your choices, with your time. Be the person who says, I'm committed, and actually means it. Be the person who stays focused while everyone else drifts. Be the one who finishes. Because you can. Because it's in you. Because it's time. Cut out distractions that pull you away from progress. Distractions are the quiet thieves of progress. They don't scream. They don't warn you. They show up dressed like comfort, like entertainment, like things that seem harmless. But day by day, they pull you off track. They drain your time. They dull your focus. And before you know it, your momentum is gone. Your drive is fading. And the life you said you wanted is still stuck in the future because you never made space for it in the present. Most people say they want success. Most people say they want growth, but they live with distractions they refuse to cut out. They stay glued to their phones, checking notifications that mean nothing. They waste hours scrolling through other people's lives while their own is slipping away. They say they're tired, but they choose entertainment over progress. They want more, but they won't remove what's keeping them average. If your goal matters, your focus has to be protected. You can't say you're serious about building something while letting your attention be pulled in 100 directions every day. You can't expect to grow when your habits are built around escape instead of execution. You have to get honest with yourself. You have to ask, what's really stealing my time? Because it's not the world. It's not your job. It's not your friends. It's you. It's your choices. It's what you allow. Every distraction has a cost. Sometimes it costs you time. Sometimes it costs you energy. Sometimes it costs you your entire dream. And if you don't remove it, it will keep growing. It will become normal. It will become part of your routine. And soon enough, you won't even recognize how far off track you are, because your whole life will be built around things that don't actually matter. That's why this step is non-negotiable. You have to cut out what's pulling you away from your progress. You can't afford to be casual about it. You can't say, it's not that bad, or it's just a little time. You have to treat distractions like enemies to your future, because that's what they are. They're not harmless. They're not innocent. They are the exact reason why most people never get where they want to go. You've got to decide what matters more, comfort or growth. Most people choose comfort. That's why they keep reaching for the phone when they feel bored. That's why they binge watch shows and call it rest. That's why they surround themselves with people who drain their energy and distract them from what really matters. Because it's easier. It's familiar. It doesn't ask for effort. But progress demands something different. Progress demands clarity. Progress demands control. You have to start building your environment around your goals, not your impulses. If your phone keeps pulling you away, put it in another room. If certain people keep wasting your time with drama or meaningless talk, limit your time with them. If you keep sinking hours into things that don't feed your mind, cut them out. Not later, not when it's convenient. Now, because your time is not unlimited, you don't get it back. And every minute spent distracted is a minute you'll never see again. This is about self-respect. If you truly respect yourself, you protect your energy. You don't allow cheap distractions to take over your life. You don't allow comfort to silence your ambition. You don't allow yourself to live on autopilot. You take charge. You take responsibility. You decide what gets your attention and what doesn't. And here's the hard truth. Distractions are often emotional decisions. You don't check your phone because you need it. You check it because you're avoiding something. You don't sit down to watch hours of content because it's good for you. You do it because it's easier than facing the work. Distractions are numbing agents. They feel good in the moment, but they weaken you over time. They rob you of urgency. They kill your hunger. They keep you comfortable in a life you know you've outgrown. If you want to build something meaningful, you have to get ruthless with your attention. You can't keep giving your time to things that take more than they give. You can't keep entertaining things that slow you down. That's not discipline. That's self-sabotage. And you know it. You've seen what happens when you let distractions run your day. You've seen how fast your energy drops when you lose focus. You've seen how quickly time disappears when you're not intentional. So it's time to clean house. Look at your daily habits and be honest. What's stealing your time? What's pulling you away from your goals? What are you doing out of habit, not purpose? If it's not helping you grow, cut it. If it's not aligned with where you want to go, stop giving it power. It's not just about saying no to bad things. It's about saying yes to the right things. And you can't do both at the same time. You have to build your life around focus. That means structure. That means setting boundaries. That means making decisions that might be uncomfortable in the short term, but powerful in the long term. That means working when you don't feel like it. That means choosing to stay on track when no one's watching. That's what builds momentum. That's what creates discipline. That's how you build a life you're proud of. Don't fall for the lie that you can have it both ways. You can't chase distractions and chase greatness at the same time. One will always pull you away from the other, and the longer you stay stuck in that tug of war, the more frustrated you'll feel. Because deep down, you'll know you're capable of more. But you won't see the results, because your focus is scattered. Your energy is split. Your drive is diluted. The solution isn't more hours. It's better use of the hours you already have. You don't need to work 24 hours a day. You need to work with real focus during the time you've got. That's what moves the needle. That's what gets you ahead. Not busyness, not noise, not checking boxes, but deep, intentional effort that comes from a focused mind. Start small. Remove one distraction today. Just one. Cut it out completely. Not halfway. Not occasionally. Eliminate it. Watch what happens. Watch how much more energy you have. Watch how much more clear you feel. Watch how your mind starts to shift. That's the power of focus. It multiplies your effort. It brings order to your thoughts. It creates space for growth. You don't have to be perfect, but you have to be committed. You have to be willing to make sacrifices. You have to be willing to give up what's easy for what's important. That's what separates those who talk about growth from those who live it. Anyone can say they want change, but only a few are willing to cut out what's standing in the way. You're in full control of your time. You don't owe your attention to everything that asks for it. You don't need to respond to every message. You don't need to stay plugged into every platform. You don't need to stay updated on everything happening in the world. What you need is to stay locked in on your path, because no one else is going to do it for you. No one's going to knock on your door and say, "I've removed all your distractions. Now go win." That's your job. You've got to be stronger than your impulses. You've got to be willing to feel a little bored. You've got to get comfortable saying no to things that give you nothing in return. Because focus isn't fun all the time. It's not exciting every moment. But it works. And what works is what wins. Progress is simple. Not easy, but simple. You remove what's pulling you backward. You stay locked in on what pulls you forward. You get up each day and build. Not for applause, not for validation, but because you know this is your time, and you're not going to waste it on things that don't push you toward the life you know you're capable of living. This isn't about being extreme. It's about being intentional. It's about living in a way that reflects your priorities. Because if someone looked at your daily life right now, would they see someone focused? Would they see someone serious? Or would they see someone distracted, scattered, pulled in every direction except forward? That's your mirror. That's your reality check. Cut the noise. Cut the distractions. Cut the empty habits. You don't need them. You never did. All they've done is take. It's time to take back control. Time to reclaim your time. Time to rebuild your mind. And you do that one choice at a time. The people who win are not the ones who have the most talent. They're the ones who manage their time with intention. They're the ones who know how to focus. They're the ones who cut the nonsense and stay locked in on the work. You can be one of them, but you've got to get serious. You've got to get clear, and you've got to get rid of anything that pulls you away from what really matters. So stop waiting. Start cutting. Start choosing better. Start showing up with focus. This is your time. This is your shot. And the only thing standing between you and your goal is what you're still allowing to distract you. Make the decision. Not next week. Not later tonight. Now cut the distractions. Build the discipline. Protect your focus. And give your goal the attention it deserves. Because you only get one life. And the worst thing you could do is waste it, chasing things that never mattered in the first place. Break down your goal into smaller, achievable steps. Now, the reason most people never finish what they start is because the goal they set is too big for their current habits. They see the destination, but they have no plan to get there. They feel inspired in the beginning, but they get overwhelmed quickly. Why? Because they're trying to climb the whole mountain in one step. That kind of thinking leads to frustration. It leads to quitting. It leads to feeling like the goal is out of reach. But the truth is, you don't fail because the goal is too hard. You fail because you didn't break it down into steps you could actually handle right now. Progress doesn't come from thinking about the future. It comes from doing something real today. You need to stop looking at the top and start looking at where your feet are. What can you do today that pushes you 1 inch closer? What small action can you take that proves to yourself you're serious? That's how real progress works. It's built on daily actions, not massive leaps. You don't get stronger by lifting the heaviest weight first. You build strength by showing up every day and increasing the load step by step. Start with clarity. What exactly do you want? Be specific. Vague goals create vague results. If your goal is to improve your health, define what that means. Is it losing weight? Is it getting stronger? Is it eating clean? Once you know exactly what you want, take that big goal and split it into pieces. If you're trying to write a book, you don't start with 300 pages. You start with 1 page a day. You don't run a marathon tomorrow. You start with a short jog today. You don't launch a business in a week. You build the foundation 1 task at a time. This isn't about lowering your standards. It's about building a path you can actually walk. The people who achieve big goals aren't superhuman. They're consistent. They create a system they can stick to. They don't wait for motivation. They rely on discipline. They take what they want and break it into tasks that can be tracked. They make each part measurable, so they know they're moving forward. When your goal is broken into small steps, you remove the fear that usually comes with big change. Fear comes from not knowing what to do next. It comes from looking too far ahead and feeling lost. But when you build a clear process and focus only on today's step, fear fades. You stop overthinking. You stop stalling. You stop comparing yourself to others. You stay locked in on what's right in front of you. Your brain is wired to win when it feels progress. That's why small wins matter. Every time you complete a step, your confidence builds. Your belief grows. You start trusting yourself again. And when that trust is strong, you move faster. You stop doubting. You stop talking yourself out of action. You prove through effort that your goal is possible. It doesn't matter if the steps are small. What matters is that they're real. Don't wait until you feel ready. Don't try to be perfect. Pick 1 action that supports your goal and do it now. Make a list of everything you need to do and rank it by importance. Then pick the first thing and complete it. Just 1. Then the next. This is how you stack progress. This is how you get things done when others are still stuck thinking about it. Discipline becomes easier when you know exactly what you need to do. Vague plans make people lazy. Clear steps create urgency. If your plan is, I'll try to be more focused, you'll fail. But if your plan is, I'll wake up at 6 a.m. and work for 90 minutes, now you've given yourself structure. Structure brings results, and results bring confidence. And confidence keeps you going. You also need to track what you're doing. Don't just do the steps, measure them. Create a journal, build a checklist, use a calendar. At the end of the day, look back and ask, did I move forward? If you did, you win the day. If you didn't, you adjust. You don't shame yourself. You learn. You get sharper. You fix your habits. You make changes that work. When people don't see progress, it's usually because they're jumping around. They try 10 different things, none with focus. They're chasing shortcuts instead of building a solid process. Don't fall for that. You don't need a shortcut. You need a step-by-step system that reflects the life you're trying to build. And that system starts with breaking down your goal. This process is about being realistic with your current level. If you haven't been consistent in months, don't expect to work 10 hours a day right away. Start with 1 hour. Do it well. Do it every day. Build the muscle. Earn your momentum. As you grow, increase the challenge. Add more tasks. Increase the effort. But don't skip steps. Don't pretend you're ready for more. If you haven't mastered the basics, you also need to review your progress often, not to judge yourself, but to learn what steps worked, what slowed you down, what needs to be adjusted. Goals that don't get reviewed become forgotten. You need to stay aware. You need to stay honest. If something's not working, don't ignore it. Fix it. Change the approach. Keep the goal. Adjust the strategy. A real goal pulls you forward, but a clear process pushes you through the hard days. When motivation fades, and it always does, your system keeps you moving. You get up, you do the work, and you trust the steps you've created. You stop chasing perfection and focus on progress. That's where the power is. Not in hype, not in dreams, but in the actions you take today. Make your steps visible. Put them where you can see them. Write them on your wall. Set reminders. Build habits around your steps. Turn them into part of your identity. You're not just someone with a goal. You're someone with a plan. You're someone who follows through. That shift in identity is what changes everything. You don't need to change your entire life overnight. You need to build small wins every day. You need to prove to yourself again and again that you can do what you said you'd do. That creates self-respect. And once you have self-respect, you don't tolerate wasted days anymore. You stop letting excuses win. You stop giving up after a few setbacks. You stay locked in on the steps because you know they work. People will ask you, how are you making so much progress? And your answer won't be dramatic. It'll be honest. I broke my goal down into pieces I could handle. Then I did the work. That's it. That's what separates people who grow from people who stay stuck. Not talent, not luck, just clarity and action. When you build your process, make it fit your life. Don't copy someone else's steps. Create your own based on your strengths, your time, your energy. Maybe it's 1 hour a day. Maybe it's 3 tasks each morning. Whatever it is, make sure it's sustainable. It's better to be consistent with small steps than inconsistent with big plans. And if you fall off track, and you will, don't panic. Don't quit. Go back to your steps. Start again. Reset. Recommit. Progress isn't about being perfect. It's about coming back stronger after each delay. It's about getting better at handling setbacks. You don't need to avoid failure. You need to respond to it with more focus. That's what builds character. That's what builds results. You can't predict every obstacle, but you can prepare by having a system. A system gives you direction when things get tough. It reminds you what to do when emotions get loud. It keeps your actions aligned with your purpose. And over time, it becomes your new normal. Right now, ask yourself, what is my goal? Then ask, what are the first 5 small steps I can take today? Write them down. Make them specific. Then do them. Not all at once, one at a time. Every day. Watch what happens in a week, then a month, then a year. You won't even recognize your old self, because you'll be living proof of what can happen when someone stops dreaming and starts doing. This is your advantage. While others wait for the perfect moment, you're building. While others stay stuck in the idea phase, you're executing. While others talk about what they want, you're doing what it takes. That's what changes lives. That's what builds a legacy. Not speed, not talent, but the simple choice to take one real step at a time, every day, without fail. If you want it, prove it. Not by talking louder, not by wishing harder, but by building a plan that works. A plan that doesn't just look good on paper. A plan you can live. A plan that pushes you forward. That's the secret. That's the edge. That's what separates talkers from builders. And you are here to build. So break it down, get to work, and never stop moving forward. Stay disciplined and follow through. No matter the obstacles, the difference between people who succeed and people who stay stuck has nothing to do with talent. It has everything to do with discipline. Not the kind that's flashy or loud. The kind that shows up when no one's watching. The kind that holds strong when everything in your life starts to push against you. It's easy to stay on track when things are going well. But the real test is when life gets hard. When your energy drops, when the people around you don't understand your path. When the progress slows down, that's when discipline shows its true power. You don't build a strong life by doing what's convenient. You build it by doing what's necessary. Discipline isn't about feeling like it. It's about following through whether you feel like it or not. It's about making a promise to yourself and keeping it. Even when the emotions shift, even when the pressure rises, obstacles are not the enemy. Giving in to them is, you're going to be tested. That's a fact. The question is whether you'll stay grounded in your commitment when that test shows up. There's a reason most people give up. They thought it would be easier. They assumed that once they got started, momentum would carry them. But it doesn't work that way. Momentum comes after you push through resistance. After you choose the hard thing over the easy thing. After you say no to excuses and yes to your responsibilities. You can either let your emotions lead you or let your decisions shape you. One leads to regret. The other leads to results. You're going to wake up some days and feel tired. You'll want to sleep in. You'll tell yourself that skipping today won't matter. But it always matters every time you give in to comfort. You weaken the muscle that makes you powerful. Discipline gets stronger when it's tested. It's like a decision you renew every day. You wake up, and before anything else, you decide that you're going to follow through. Not because it's easy, not because it's exciting, but because it's part of who you are becoming. You can't grow if you keep backing down when it gets uncomfortable. You can't reach your goals if you only show up when it feels good. You don't need more inspiration. You need more execution. Real execution. Not half effort. Not kind of showing up. Full effort. Even when you're tired. Even when you're unsure. That's where the growth happens. That's where the change is made. You have to get serious about who you want to become. And when you get serious, discipline becomes non-negotiable. It's no longer a tool you use when it's convenient. It's the foundation of your life. You stop needing motivation. You stop waiting for the right time. You start relying on structure. You start depending on your habits. And those habits keep you focused when your feelings try to pull you off track. Obstacles will show up at every level. Don't be surprised when they do. Prepare for them. Expect them. Because when you expect them, you don't panic. You respond. You adjust. You keep going. That's what discipline looks like in the real world. It's the quiet power that keeps showing up after everyone else has quit. It's the strength to stay focused when distractions come at you from every direction. It's the maturity to do the hard thing when the easy thing is right in front of you. The truth is, discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline doesn't ask for permission. Discipline doesn't wait for the mood to be right. It just moves. And the people who build the lives they want, they build them on the back of discipline. They stop negotiating with themselves. They stop giving their future away to excuses. They learn how to finish what they start. You can't keep starting over every time life gets tough. You need to keep going through it. You need to remember why you started in the first place. Your goal wasn't built for comfort. It was built to stretch you. It was built to show you what you're made of. If you give up every time something blocks your path, you'll never know how far you could have gone. Some days you won't see results. Some days you'll question if it's working. But that doesn't mean you stop. That's exactly when you need to double down. Because discipline isn't about the results you see today. It's about planting seeds that grow over time. You don't always feel the progress while it's happening. But that doesn't mean it's not happening. Every time you show up, every time you stay the course, you're building something inside you. Something strong, something solid. You don't need everything to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. You just need to decide that no matter what happens today, you're going to move forward. Not with big, loud steps, but with clear, steady action. Even if it's slow, even if it's messy, forward is forward. Discipline isn't about speed. It's about refusing to stop. Most people don't understand the power of discipline because they've never stayed with something long enough to see what it can create. They quit too soon. They walk away when the excitement wears off. But you're not like most people. You have a vision. You have something you want to build. And if you want it badly enough, discipline is how you get there. Not once, not twice, but every day. Discipline is also about protecting your time, protecting your energy, saying no to things that don't help you grow, saying no to people who distract you. You don't owe anyone your focus. You owe it to yourself. If your schedule is full of things that don't matter, then your future will be built on regrets. You can't afford to waste time trying to please everyone. Your purpose has to come first. You also have to hold yourself accountable. No one's going to do the work for you. No one's going to force you to stay focused. You have to want it enough to follow through. You have to be honest with yourself when you fall short. You have to get back up without needing someone else to push you. That's the kind of self-leadership discipline creates. There will be setbacks. That's guaranteed. But a disciplined person doesn't panic during setbacks. They refocus. They figure out what went wrong, and they get back on track. They don't waste time blaming. They don't waste energy complaining. They look at the facts. They make the adjustment, and they move forward. That's what makes them dangerous. That's what makes them powerful. You have to develop the kind of discipline that becomes automatic, where your default mode is action, where your reaction to difficulty is effort, not excuses, not waiting, effort, immediate and consistent. That's the kind of discipline that makes you unstoppable. You also have to understand that discipline isn't about punishment. It's about freedom. The more disciplined you become, the more control you gain. The more focus you have, the more progress you make. It's not about restriction. It's about direction. It's about using your time wisely. It's about using your energy to build something real, something that lasts. You'll never regret staying disciplined. You'll only regret the days you gave in to laziness, the days you broke your promises, the days you let your goals slip through your fingers. You're building a future, and that future is shaped by what you do today. If you stay disciplined now, you buy yourself freedom later. If you quit now, you'll pay for it with regret later. So choose. Do you want temporary comfort or long-term strength? Do you want short-term pleasure or lasting growth? It's one or the other. You can't have both. You can't stay focused if you're always giving in to what feels good in the moment. Discipline is the price of progress. It's the price of peace. And it's the price of becoming who you said you would be. No one can do it for you. No one can hand you discipline. You have to build it, day by day, decision by decision, step by step. You have to earn it with your actions. You have to prove it with your consistency. And when you do, you won't just hit your goal. You'll become someone different, someone stronger, someone with self-respect, someone who doesn't need to be told what to do, because they already know. The world is full of distractions, full of noise, full of temptations to quit. But you're not here to follow the crowd. You're here to rise. And if you want to rise, you need to be the kind of person who follows through no matter what. You need to train your mind to stay steady when others fall apart. You need to stay committed when the pressure builds. You need to remember that nothing great is built without struggle. The days you don't want to show up are the days that matter the most. That's when you train your character. That's when you earn your future. That's when you prove that this isn't just a goal. It's your standard. And once you raise your standard, you never go back. So don't just say you want it. Show it through your actions, through your effort, through your follow-through. Not once, every day. That's how you win. That's how you build something that lasts. That's how you stay focused no matter what life throws at you. You lead with discipline. You finish strong. And you don't stop until the job is done. Align your daily actions with the vision you have. Your vision isn't just a dream you keep in your head. It's not a fantasy you think about when life gets quiet. It's a blueprint. It's the future you want to build. And it deserves your full attention. But having a vision means nothing if your daily actions aren't in sync with it. You can talk about your goals all day, but if your choices don't match your ambition, you're only lying to yourself. The truth is, you become what you do, not what you say you'll do. And if your actions don't line up with your vision, your life will move in the wrong direction, even if your intentions are good. You've got to be brutally honest with yourself. Look at how you spend your time. What are you doing every day? Not occasionally, not once in a while, every single day, because it's your habits, not your words, that shape your future. If your actions are small, scattered, or disconnected from your vision, you won't get there. Not because you're not capable, but because you're not aligned. When your days are filled with distractions, procrastination, and decisions that don't support your future, your vision fades. Not because it wasn't strong, but because you didn't protect it with discipline. A powerful vision requires consistent effort, not random effort, consistent effort. The kind that shows up every day to make progress. No matter how small, you have to live like your vision already matters. You have to treat it like it's real, because the moment you start showing up like it's already yours, everything changes. You don't wait for permission. You don't wait for signs. You build, act, and move with purpose. It doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It means you have to be intentional. You have to stop making excuses for behaviors that delay your growth. You have to start removing the habits that weaken your path. You can't keep saying you want success while surrounding yourself with distractions. You can't talk about building something meaningful while spending hours every day doing things that take you further away from it. The truth hurts, but it will set you free. If your day isn't moving you closer to your vision, it's pushing you further away. People waste years thinking they have time. They live like they're waiting for a better moment to start. But time won't wait. Life won't wait. You're either using your time or losing it. And if you want to stop wasting it, you've got to live in alignment. Your schedule should reflect your priorities. Your actions should support your future. Your energy should be directed toward what you say you want. Every decision you make, every hour you spend, is a vote for the kind of life you want to live. It either builds momentum or drains it. It either lifts you or holds you back. You can't build a great life on weak choices. You can't reach a strong vision on a shaky routine. You have to get serious about the details. The small things, because the small things become the big results. It's not about intensity for a few days. It's about intention every day. That's where alignment begins. You have to know where you're going. Not in a vague way, in a clear, personal, detailed way. You need to know what kind of person you want to become, what kind of work you want to do, what kind of impact you want to make. And once you know that, you've got to ask yourself, what does that version of me do every day? What do they focus on? What do they say no to? What do they commit to? You can't wait until you get there to start acting like that person. You have to act like them now. You have to reverse engineer your life. You look at the result you want, and you break it down into the daily steps it requires. And then you live those steps, over and over, even when it's boring, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. That's how alignment works. The version of you who reaches that vision is not different in talent. They're just different in habits. They make different choices. They hold themselves to a higher standard. They use their time with precision. They don't waste energy on things that don't matter. That version of you is not far away. It's just hidden behind a different level of consistency. Your vision will never feel real if your actions keep contradicting it. You can't say you value growth and then spend your day avoiding effort. You can't say you want progress and then fill your schedule with distractions. That gap between your words and your actions will eat away at your confidence. It will make you question yourself. It will create stress, frustration, and doubt. Not because you're broken, but because you're out of alignment. Once you start aligning your actions with your vision, you begin to trust yourself again. You wake up with purpose. You go to sleep with peace. You stop needing motivation to push you because you've built habits that carry you. The more aligned you become, the less you hesitate, the less you doubt, the more clearly you can see what matters, and that clarity fuels your discipline. You've got to be clear about what your vision demands from you, not what you feel like doing, but what is required. If your vision is to build a business, what actions match that vision? If your vision is to be healthy, what choices support that lifestyle? If your vision is to grow, what kind of routines make that possible? You don't need more goals, you need more alignment. You need to stop chasing the next thing and start committing to the right things. You also have to stop trying to balance everything. Not everything deserves your time. Not every opportunity moves you forward. Not every invite, every request, every distraction deserves your attention. When you're aligned with your vision, you learn how to say no, not out of arrogance, out of clarity, out of respect for your future. Your yes means more when your no is strong. Alignment gives you that strength. It's not easy to stay aligned. Life will try to knock you off course. People won't always understand your focus. You'll be tempted to go back to comfort. But you can't build your future in comfort. You build it in consistency, in intentional action, in discipline that shows up daily. That's how you make real progress. You have to check in with yourself constantly. Am I acting like the person I want to become? Am I investing in what matters? Am I using this day to build something meaningful? That's how you stay sharp. That's how you avoid drifting. Because drifting happens slowly, one small choice at a time. One excuse here, one delay there. Until one day you wake up and realize you're living far away from your vision. The only way to avoid that is to keep your actions aligned. Keep your time focused. Keep your energy moving in the direction of your values. You don't need to rush. You just need to be steady. Alignment isn't about speed. It's about direction. It's about building a life that makes sense, based on who you are and where you want to go. You're not trying to impress anyone. You're not chasing validation. You're building something that feels right to you. And that requires discipline. It requires self-respect. It requires you to live on purpose, not by accident. No one's coming to hold you accountable. You have to do that yourself. You have to know your why. You have to remind yourself every morning, why do I do this? What's the point? What am I building? And then you live that answer through every choice, every step, every action. That's where confidence comes from. From knowing that you're living a life that's consistent with your goals. From knowing that you're not wasting time, not drifting, not waiting. You're here to build, to grow, to evolve. That won't happen on accident. That won't happen by copying others. That happens when your vision is clear and your actions are consistent. That happens when your days are driven by purpose, not pressure, by choice, not chance. You don't need a perfect plan. You need consistent alignment. You need to be honest about what your future demands. You need to cut out the noise. You need to double down on the routines that move you forward. No one gets to the top by chance. They get there by living in alignment, by acting like their vision matters every single day. It's your responsibility to close the gap between where you are and where you want to be. No one's going to do it for you. No one's going to hand you a perfect path. But if you live in alignment, if your actions reflect your values, you will build a life that makes you proud, one day at a time, one step at a time, without shortcuts, without excuses, with purpose, with direction, with clarity that cuts through all the noise. And with that clarity, nothing can stop you. Face challenges head on and use them to grow stronger. Life isn't easy. If you're looking for smooth sailing, you're going to be disappointed. Every path to success is paved with challenges. And let's be clear, these challenges aren't random. They're part of the process. They aren't something to avoid or ignore. They are opportunities disguised as obstacles. How you respond to them determines not just how far you'll go, but how strong you'll become in the process. The more you learn to face challenges head on, the stronger, wiser, and more resilient you'll become. When you encounter difficulties, there's a temptation to retreat, to give up, to think, maybe this isn't for me, but that's the wrong mindset. Challenges aren't a signal to stop. They're a signal to rise. They're calling you to step up and become better. Every time you meet a challenge, you're faced with a choice. You can either let it define you, or you can use it to redefine yourself. That choice is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who don't. What you need to understand is that life isn't trying to break you. It's trying to make you stronger. Every challenge is a test that demands resilience. You can't build strength without resistance. You can't grow without difficulty. It's in those moments of struggle that you find out what you're really made of. Not when everything is going well, but when things aren't going according to plan. That's where the real growth happens. We all face difficulties, but not everyone grows through them. Some people let challenges keep them stuck. They get frustrated, give up, or start looking for ways to blame something or someone else. But the winners, the ones who reach their goals, who build lives they can be proud of, those are the ones who see every difficulty as a chance to learn and improve. They approach every challenge as an opportunity to grow. There's a saying that goes, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Now that might sound like a cliche, but there's truth in it. The more you face tough situations, the more you build the mental toughness and resilience necessary to handle future obstacles. Every time you overcome something hard, you expand your capacity to handle what's coming next. Your mind gets stronger, your confidence grows, and your belief in yourself increases. One of the biggest mistakes people make is avoiding challenges altogether. They think that if they can just stay comfortable, everything will work out. But comfort is the enemy of growth. If you're comfortable, you're not pushing yourself. You're not evolving. You're not becoming the person you need to be in order to reach your goals. If you want to grow, you have to step into discomfort. You have to take on challenges that force you to level up, to think differently, to stretch beyond your current abilities. This doesn't mean you should go looking for problems or intentionally make life harder than it needs to be. But when challenges do arise, and they will, you have to face them head on. You can't shy away from them. You can't hide from them. You have to confront them with everything you've got, because only then will you realize your full potential. It's easy to look at others and think that they have it easier than you, but everyone faces their own struggles. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is how they handle those struggles. The successful ones don't run from adversity. They meet it with courage, clarity, and the mindset that this challenge will make them better, stronger, and more prepared for what's next. The way you handle challenges is a reflection of your mindset. A positive mindset doesn't mean you won't face difficulties, but it means that you'll choose to approach them with the right attitude. You'll see each challenge as an opportunity to grow and learn. Instead of asking, "Why me?" you'll ask, "What can I learn from this?" Instead of focusing on how hard it is, you'll focus on how much stronger you'll be on the other side. That's the mentality that makes champions. They don't focus on the pain of the moment. They focus on the reward of pushing through. They understand that the harder the challenge, the greater the growth. And when you start thinking this way, your entire perspective changes. You stop fearing challenges. You start seeing them as stepping stones. You start embracing them as necessary parts of the process. Now, this doesn't mean you should charge into every challenge without a plan. It means that when a challenge arises, you approach it strategically. You assess the situation, figure out what needs to be done, and then take action. You don't sit around waiting for someone else to fix it. You don't waste time complaining or feeling sorry for yourself. You roll up your sleeves and get to work. You understand that every challenge is an opportunity to sharpen your skills, expand your knowledge, and become more capable. One key to using challenges to grow stronger is learning how to stay calm under pressure. The pressure will always be there. Life will always throw curveballs. But if you can stay calm in those moments, you give yourself the space to think clearly, to make better decisions, and to take action. Stress and panic don't solve problems. Clear thinking and decisive action do. When you stay calm in the face of adversity, you allow yourself to rise above the challenge and handle it with grace and effectiveness. Another important aspect of facing challenges head-on is persistence. It's easy to quit when things get tough, but quitting won't get you anywhere. The real key to overcoming challenges is perseverance. The willingness to keep going even when you don't see immediate results. You have to trust that the effort you're putting in now will pay off in the future. Success is built on the foundation of persistence. You have to keep moving forward, one step at a time, even if it feels like progress is slow. Every step forward is progress. Every challenge you overcome is one step closer to your goal. Understand that you will encounter setbacks along the way. There will be times when things don't go according to plan, when your progress feels slow, or when you face unexpected roadblocks. But those setbacks are not the end. They are simply part of the journey. Don't let them stop you. Let them motivate you. Let them teach you. Setbacks are opportunities to reassess, adjust, and come back stronger. They are not failures. They are lessons. In fact, the most successful people are often the ones who face the most challenges. They've built their success on a foundation of overcoming obstacles. They've learned to use every challenge as a stepping stone. They've learned to face adversity with determination and resilience. And that's why they succeed. It's not that they have some secret formula for avoiding challenges. It's that they know how to face them head on and use them to grow stronger. So don't fear challenges. Don't run from them. Don't shy away when things get tough. Embrace them. See them as opportunities to become the best version of yourself. Recognize that every challenge is preparing you for greater success. You don't become great by avoiding obstacles. You become great by pushing through them, learning from them, and using them to grow. The next time a challenge comes your way, don't back down. Face it with courage. Face it with the mindset that you are stronger than anything that stands in your way. And when you come out on the other side, when you've pushed through, when you've grown, when you've become stronger, you'll know that no challenge, no matter how big, can ever hold you back. Because the more you face, the stronger you become. The stronger you become, the more unstoppable you become. And that's how you win. Embrace discomfort, because it leads to lasting success. Success doesn't come from comfort. If you think it does, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. The reality is that true success is born out of discomfort, out of pushing yourself beyond what feels safe, beyond what feels easy, and into the territory where growth happens. If you want to achieve anything meaningful, you're going to have to embrace discomfort, because discomfort is where the real change happens. And it's that change that leads to lasting success. We live in a world that constantly tells us to seek comfort. Every ad, every marketing message, every piece of advice we hear from the media tells us that life should be easy, effortless, and painless. But this couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, the more comfortable you get, the less you grow. Comfort is a trap. It feels good in the moment, but it keeps you stuck. It keeps you from reaching your full potential. It keeps you from becoming the person you need to be to achieve your goals. To build lasting success, you need to stop avoiding discomfort and start seeking it. Embrace it. Lean into it. Every time you push through discomfort, you're building the mental toughness and resilience that you'll need to handle whatever life throws your way. And here's the key. Success is not about avoiding difficulty. It's about learning to thrive through it. If you want to build real strength, you have to face challenges head on. You have to step outside of your comfort zone and put yourself in situations that force you to grow. Let's be clear about something. Discomfort is not something to fear. It's something to welcome. It's something to be excited about, because it means you're on the right path. You see, discomfort signals growth. When you feel that uneasy feeling, when things get hard and uncomfortable, that's when the magic happens. That's when the progress is being made. You're not growing when you're sitting comfortably on the sidelines. You're growing when you're out there, challenging yourself, fighting through the tough times, and continuing to move forward, even when it feels like you can't. It's easy to want to back off when things get difficult. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that success should be easy and smooth. But let me tell you something. You will never be successful if you run from difficulty. You will never be successful if you allow fear or discomfort to control you. The truth is, the most successful people in the world didn't get there by taking the easy path. They got there by facing discomfort head on, by stepping into the unknown, by dealing with the challenges and adversity that life threw at them. Think about the greatest achievers in history. Think about the athletes, the entrepreneurs, the leaders, the visionaries. Do you think they made it because they were comfortable? Absolutely not. They made it because they were willing to endure discomfort. They were willing to put in the hard work, the sweat, the sacrifice, and yes, the discomfort that comes with pushing past your limits. Success isn't just about doing the easy stuff. It's about showing up when it's tough, sticking with it when you'd rather quit, and continuing to press forward, even when every part of you is telling you to stop. If you want to accomplish anything worthwhile, you need to understand that discomfort is part of the process. It's a necessary part of the journey. Think of discomfort like the growing pains that happen when you're getting stronger. When you exercise, when you push your body past its limits, you experience discomfort. It's that discomfort that builds muscle. It's that discomfort that makes you stronger, more capable, and more resilient. The same goes for life. The more you expose yourself to discomfort, the more you grow mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And as you grow, you become more equipped to handle bigger challenges and achieve greater success. Here's the thing. Growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. It happens when you challenge yourself, when you try new things, when you push yourself to do things you didn't think you could do. Discomfort is a signal that you're doing something right. If you're feeling uncomfortable, you're on the right track. You're growing, and that's what matters. If you want to be successful, you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. You have to stop avoiding difficult situations and start embracing them as opportunities to learn, grow, and improve. People often make the mistake of thinking that success comes easily. They see someone who has achieved great things and assume it was a smooth journey. But what they don't see are the countless hours of hard work, the sacrifices, the setbacks, and yes, the discomfort that person had to endure to get where they are. No one who has ever achieved greatness did it without discomfort, and you won't either. Another important thing to understand is that discomfort doesn't just show up once and then go away. It's not a one-time thing. Discomfort is a recurring part of the journey. As you grow, you'll encounter new levels of discomfort. But each time you face that discomfort and push through it, you become stronger. The next time a challenge arises, you'll be better prepared to handle it, and the cycle continues. With every new level of discomfort, you grow stronger and more capable. And with each victory over discomfort, you move one step closer to your ultimate goal. So let's take a look at how you can start embracing discomfort in your own life. First, recognize that discomfort is inevitable. It's not something to avoid or shy away from. It's a part of life, and it's a part of success. Once you accept that, you can start to change the way you look at difficult situations. Instead of seeing them as obstacles, start seeing them as opportunities to grow. Instead of running from discomfort, run toward it. Embrace it as a sign that you're on the right track. Next, push yourself to do things that make you uncomfortable. This doesn't mean doing reckless things or putting yourself in danger. It means stepping outside your comfort zone. It means doing things that stretch you, that challenge you, that force you to grow. It means taking on projects that scare you, having tough conversations, and taking risks. Every time you do something that makes you uncomfortable, you grow, you expand your limits, and you move closer to the person you want to be. Don't forget the power of persistence. Just because something is uncomfortable doesn't mean it's not worth doing. Keep going, even when you don't feel like it. Success requires sustained effort, and it requires showing up, even when it's hard. The most successful people are the ones who don't quit when things get tough. They keep pushing through, they keep going, and they keep embracing discomfort as part of the journey. As you continue to face discomfort, remind yourself of the bigger picture. Success is not a destination, it's a journey, and that journey is filled with challenges and discomfort. But it's also filled with growth and progress. Every time you face discomfort, you're growing. Every time you push through, you're becoming stronger. And that's what leads to lasting success. Success isn't about avoiding discomfort. It's about facing it, embracing it, and using it to propel yourself forward. So stop running from discomfort. Stop seeking comfort at every turn. Instead, seek out the challenges that will push you to grow. Embrace the discomfort, knowing that it's the key to lasting success. The more you face discomfort head on, the more you'll grow, and the more you grow, the closer you'll get to the success you've always dreamed of. Success is waiting for you, but you have to be willing to embrace the discomfort that comes with it. That's the price you pay for lasting success, and it's worth every ounce of effort. Keep your eyes on the prize even when it's hard. When you're pursuing a goal, you're going to hit moments where things are tough, where it feels like the whole world is against you, and where the road ahead seems long and exhausting. You might even start doubting yourself, questioning whether it's all worth it, or wondering if you should just give up. But here's the hard truth. Success is not achieved by those who stop when things get difficult. Success is earned by those who keep their eyes on the prize even when the road gets tough, even when it feels impossible, and even when the obstacles seem insurmountable. Let's be real about this. Every single person who has ever achieved anything significant in life has faced hardship. They've all been through moments of frustration, exhaustion, self-doubt, and fear. They've all wondered if it's worth it. They've all thought about quitting. But what separates those who succeed from those who don't is their ability to keep going, to keep fighting, and to keep their eyes on the prize, no matter how hard things get. Staying focused on your goal is the foundation of success. It's easy to be motivated when things are going well. It's easy to stay inspired when everything is flowing smoothly and the results are coming quickly. But when you hit a wall, when things don't go according to plan, that's when your commitment is truly tested. That's when you need to remember why you started in the first place. The process of reaching any goal is rarely linear. It's filled with ups and downs, twists and turns, moments of progress and setbacks. If you're focused only on the short-term hurdles, you'll miss the bigger picture. You'll get caught up in the obstacles, and you'll lose sight of what you're ultimately working toward. And that's when most people give up. They let the momentary setbacks define their progress. But here's the key. Every challenge you face, every obstacle that stands in your way, is just part of the journey. It's not the end of the road unless you decide to make it so. So how do you stay focused on the prize when things get hard? First, you need to remind yourself of why you started. Why did you set this goal in the first place? What is the purpose behind it? This is the time to reconnect with the deeper reason that's driving you. The clearer your purpose, the easier it becomes to push through the tough times. Your why should be something powerful enough to keep you going when everything else seems to be working against you. There will be days when you feel like throwing in the towel. You'll have days where you question if it's all worth it, but you need to stay grounded in your purpose. When you feel that frustration rising, take a moment and reflect on the bigger picture. Remember why you started. Picture the outcome in your mind, the success, the accomplishment, the feeling of knowing you pushed through and made it. When you keep your eyes on the prize, the challenges lose their power over you. They become just another step along the way, not a reason to stop. Another key to staying focused on your goal is to develop resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to keep going when everything feels difficult. Resilience comes from experience. The more you face challenges and push through them, the more resilient you become. It's like building a muscle. The more you work at it, the stronger you get. So when things get tough, remind yourself that this is just another opportunity to build your resilience. You've faced challenges before, and you've overcome them. This one is no different. Don't let temporary setbacks dictate your future. Use them as fuel to keep moving forward. It's also important to keep perspective during tough times. One of the biggest mistakes people make when they hit obstacles is to magnify the difficulty of the situation. They make it bigger in their minds than it really is. A setback or challenge might feel like the end of the world in the moment, but the reality is that it's just a bump in the road. You've faced challenges before, and you've overcome them. You'll face challenges again, and you'll overcome those too. The key is not to blow things out of proportion. Put things in perspective, keep a level head, and stay focused on the long-term goal. There will always be distractions along the way. People, situations, and even your own fears can distract you from your goal. But here's where your discipline comes in. You need to stay disciplined enough to not let these distractions pull you off course. Distractions are just temporary. Your goal is permanent. When you keep your eyes on the prize, the distractions lose their importance. They may try to pull you away, but if you stay focused on your goal, they'll fade into the background. As you face obstacles, it's important to remember that it's okay to fail. In fact, failure is often a part of the journey toward success. The key is not to see failure as the end, but as a lesson. Every failure brings you closer to your goal because it teaches you something valuable. The people who succeed are the ones who don't let failure discourage them. They take the lessons from failure, apply them, and keep moving forward. When you keep your eyes on the prize, every setback becomes a stepping stone toward success. One of the best ways to stay focused is to break down your larger goal into smaller, manageable steps. This helps you see progress, even when the bigger picture feels overwhelming. Each small win adds up over time and keeps you motivated. When you're working towards something big, it's easy to get discouraged if you're only looking at the end result. But if you break it down into smaller pieces, you'll find that progress comes faster and the goal feels more achievable. Keep your eyes on the prize by focusing on the small wins along the way. Along with that, keep a positive mindset. The way you think has a profound impact on your ability to stay focused and keep pushing forward. If you focus on the negatives, on the setbacks, and on what isn't working, you'll get bogged down. But if you focus on what's going well, on your progress, and on the positive steps you're taking, you'll stay motivated and focused. A positive mindset doesn't mean ignoring the challenges. It means approaching them with the belief that you can overcome them and that they are not the end of the road. Another important part of staying focused is maintaining a sense of urgency. When you have a sense of urgency, you recognize that time is precious and that every day counts. This helps you stay on track, even when things get tough. It's easy to put things off when obstacles arise. But when you have a sense of urgency, you keep moving forward, no matter what. You don't wait for the perfect moment. You act now, even in the face of adversity. The more urgent you are about your goal, the more likely you are to achieve it. Finally, surround yourself with people who support and encourage you. This can make all the difference when times get tough. You need people who will remind you of your goal, who will push you when you want to quit, and who will help you stay focused. The right support system can help you keep your eyes on the prize and give you the strength to keep going when you feel like giving up. At the end of the day, success is about persistence. It's about staying focused on your goal, even when it's hard. When you keep your eyes on the prize, you'll find the strength to push through any obstacle. Remember why you started, stay resilient, keep things in perspective, stay disciplined, and embrace failure as a lesson. Don't let distractions pull you away from your goal. Break it down into smaller steps, maintain a positive mindset, and surround yourself with people who support you. Keep moving forward, keep pushing, and keep your eyes on the prize. Success is waiting for you. Just don't take your eyes off it. Prioritize your goal over temporary pleasures and shortcuts. The moment you decide to chase something meaningful, you'll feel the pull of everything meaningless trying to get in your way. Every distraction, every indulgence, every moment of comfort will try to convince you to settle for less. That's why most people never make it far. They confuse temporary pleasure with lasting fulfillment. They sacrifice what they want most for what feels good in the moment. They give up the future for now, and every time they do, they push their goals further out of reach. If you want to achieve something real, something that actually matters to you, you must be willing to prioritize that goal over instant rewards. You must learn to say no to what's easy so you can say yes to what's worth it. You can't win in life if you keep chasing shortcuts. There is no shortcut to growth, no shortcut to mastery, no shortcut to becoming the person you envision when you close your eyes and imagine what your life could be. Shortcuts promise quick results, but rob you of the transformation that happens when you commit to doing things the right way. The process is where the growth happens. The process is what shapes you. You can't skip it, you can't rush it, and you can't fake it. What you don't earn, you can't keep. You have to be honest with yourself. Look at how you're spending your time, your energy, your focus. Are you feeding your goals or feeding your comfort? Are you building discipline or building habits that keep you stuck in place? Temporary pleasures have a way of creeping in silently, scrolling mindlessly, staying up late for no reason, wasting time on entertainment that adds no value to your life, saying just one more time to habits you know are holding you back. The more you give in to these things, the more you lose momentum. And every time you give in, you make it easier to give in again. What you need is self-control. Self-control is not about depriving yourself of happiness. It's about choosing a greater happiness over a lesser one. It's about making decisions today that your future self will thank you for. It's about understanding that the pleasure of progress, of growth, of seeing results from your hard work is infinitely more rewarding than any fleeting indulgence. That dopamine hit from a distraction might feel good for a second, but it can't compare to the deep satisfaction of knowing you're on the right track. You have to ask yourself, what do you want more? The comfort of this moment or the pride of real achievement? Every decision is a vote for the kind of person you want to become. Are you casting votes for strength, discipline, clarity, or are you voting for procrastination, excuses, and weakness? This is what it comes down to. What do you value more? Your dream, or the distraction that's standing between you and your dream? It's not easy. Choosing your goal over short-term pleasure is not a one-time decision. It's a decision you make every day, sometimes every hour. When your alarm goes off early and your bed feels warm, you choose. When you're tempted to waste a few hours on something meaningless, you choose. When it feels like your progress is slow and no one is watching, you choose. And those choices compound. They build up. Every disciplined choice strengthens your foundation. Every lazy choice weakens it. There will be moments where taking the easy route will feel harmless. You'll tell yourself it doesn't matter, that you'll get back on track tomorrow. But this is how people drift. This is how goals are abandoned. Not all at once, but slowly, choice by choice. One compromise here, another one there, until they're completely off course. And once you fall into that trap, it becomes harder to get out of it. You begin to convince yourself that maybe it's not that important. Maybe you were asking too much of yourself. Maybe you should settle for what's comfortable. That's the voice of weakness. That's the voice that has kept millions of people average. You've got to develop a deeper level of awareness. You need to catch yourself in those moments where your discipline starts slipping. You need to feel the resistance and move through it, not away from it. Every time you choose discipline, you become more powerful. Every time you resist the urge to cut corners, you grow. Not just in your ability to achieve things, but in your ability to become a person who can be counted on, even by yourself. You also need to redefine what pleasure means to you. True pleasure comes from progress. It comes from knowing you kept your promises to yourself. It comes from seeing your vision unfold, brick by brick, day by day. The temporary stuff, junk food, endless scrolling, meaningless conversations, partying to escape your responsibilities. It might numb the stress for a little while, but it never leaves you feeling fulfilled. You always return to that empty feeling, wondering why you feel stuck. That's because the path to fulfillment can't be found in comfort. It can only be found through effort, purpose, and growth. Real happiness is on the other side of struggle. It's on the other side of sacrifice. And you can't reach it if you keep running back to your comfort zone. Every time you choose your goal over the shortcut, you strengthen your character. You show yourself that you can delay gratification, that you can stay on the path even when no one is clapping for you, even when no one understands your obsession. That's what it takes to win. Like silent work, unseen discipline, repeated sacrifices, and a laser-like focus on the bigger picture. You've got to be willing to go all in. Stop negotiating with yourself. Stop making deals that allow you to escape responsibility. Stop telling yourself that you'll give full effort later. Later is a lie. Later is the excuse. Comfort feeds you so you can avoid doing what's necessary now. But the truth is, the opportunity is now. The time is now. And if you keep waiting for the perfect moment to commit fully, you'll waste your life preparing instead of producing. You have to learn how to suffer for something meaningful. When you suffer for your distractions, your life becomes emptier. But when you suffer for your goals, your life becomes fuller. The discomfort of choosing your goal over temporary pleasure is what leads to transformation. That pain has a purpose. It molds you. It teaches you to endure. It forces you to become more focused, more patient, more grounded. People think discipline is limiting, but it's the opposite. Discipline is freedom. Because when you control yourself, nothing else controls you. And it's not just about achieving the goal. It's about becoming someone worthy of that goal. Every time you choose your long-term vision over instant comfort, you prove to yourself that you are serious. You don't just want success, you're willing to work for it. You don't just hope for growth, you're living it. You don't just dream of greatness, you're becoming it. There's no greater power than being able to say no to what doesn't serve you. That kind of strength doesn't show up overnight. It's built in moments of solitude, in the quiet hours where no one is watching. When you choose your mission over your mood, every day you stick to the path is a win. Every day you resist the urge to quit, to delay, to indulge, you sharpen yourself. The truth is, not everyone is going to understand your grind. People around you might call you too intense, too focused, too obsessed. That's okay. Most people are comfortable being comfortable. Most people settle for average. Most people never realize what they're capable of because they're too addicted to what feels good now. But you are not most people. You're not here to fit in. You're here to rise above, to build something meaningful, to live with purpose, to reach the finish line with no regrets, knowing you gave everything. You will be tempted again and again. Life will test your patience, your hunger, your consistency. There will be easier options, quicker paths, softer alternatives. But remember what you're building. Remember what's at stake. Remember that the life you want doesn't come from comfort. It comes from commitment. When you choose your goal over instant gratification, you win twice. Once in the moment, and again when your results start to speak for themselves. So don't let distractions break your momentum. Don't let shortcuts sabotage your effort. Don't let comfort steal your future. Build the discipline to prioritize your goal every single day, especially when it's inconvenient. Refuse to negotiate with laziness. Train your mind to value the long game. And most importantly, keep showing up, keep pushing forward, and keep choosing purpose over pleasure. Your goal is waiting. Your future is waiting. All that's left is for you to prove you want it more than anything temporary trying to get in your way. Trust your process and keep moving forward relentlessly. When you set out on a journey toward a goal, It's easy to get lost in the noise of doubt and uncertainty. The world will try to pull you in 100 different directions. People will question your choices, your pace, and your reasoning. You will face challenges that seem impossible to overcome. It might feel like you're running in circles, making little progress or no progress at all. But this is when your trust in the process must be the strongest. This is when you need to keep moving forward relentlessly, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Even when it feels like all your effort is going unnoticed. You must trust that the path you're on is leading you to something greater. Success is never a straight line. It is not a smooth ride from point A to point B. It is a series of peaks and valleys, of breakthroughs and setbacks. The key is not to get caught up in the frustrations of the moment. The key is to keep your eyes on the larger picture and trust the process that you've committed to. The moment you lose faith in the process, you lose your way. The moment you stop believing that the daily effort is working, you'll stop moving forward. And the moment you stop moving forward is the moment you start to fall behind. There will be days when progress feels slow, when the road is tough, and when you're tempted to question your path. But these are the days that matter the most. They are the days that shape your resilience. They are the days that test your commitment and reinforce your character. This is when you discover whether you're truly in it for the long haul. It's easy to keep going when everything is going well. But can you keep moving forward when you don't see the results yet? Can you keep going when the world feels silent, when there are no applause, no signs of success on the horizon? That is when the true test begins. Trusting your process doesn't mean ignoring reality. It doesn't mean blind optimism or being naive. It means understanding that every step you take, no matter how small, is part of your growth. It's understanding that the progress you make today may not bear fruit today, but it will compound over time. It's acknowledging that there are forces at work behind the scenes that you may not be able to see in the moment. There are lessons in the struggle, growth in the discomfort, and power in the patience. You just have to keep moving forward, trusting that all the pieces are coming together, even if it doesn't feel that way right now. Every time you show up, even when you don't feel like it, you are reinforcing your commitment to your goal. Every time you do the work, even if it feels repetitive or monotonous, you are building a foundation that will eventually support your success. And even when the results aren't immediate, even when you don't see the impact of your actions right away, they are still working. Trust that every single thing you do is leading you closer to your vision. It's not always the visible actions that matter most. Often, it's the invisible work, the self-discipline, the consistency, the focus that builds the foundation for breakthroughs. You must understand that your journey will have its moments of doubt. You will question your decisions, your abilities, your vision. That's part of the process too. Doubt is natural, but what separates those who succeed from those who don't is the ability to keep going despite the doubt. Doubt is not an indication that you should stop. It's a sign that you're pushing yourself to the edge. It's a signal that you are stepping outside of your comfort zone. It's a reminder that you're on the verge of growth. Trust that this is part of the process too. Trust that every moment of discomfort, every question you ask yourself, is an opportunity to become stronger, more focused, and more committed to your purpose. The world will always throw distractions your way. There will always be easier paths, quicker rewards, and more tempting opportunities that pull you off course. But every time you give in to those distractions, you delay your progress. The path you're on might not be the easiest, but it's the one that will lead you to something lasting. When you trust your process, you stop comparing yourself to others. You stop worrying about how fast or slow you're going. You stop asking whether it's working. You simply keep moving forward because you know that every effort, no matter how small, is part of your growth. The process is the work that no one else sees. It's the silent hours you put in when no one is watching, when you don't get any recognition or applause. But it's also the work that forms the foundation of your success. Without the process, there is no result. Without the hard work, there is no progress. Without the commitment, there is no breakthrough. And so when things get tough, when you feel like quitting, remember this: trust your process. Keep going. The results will come. They might not come in the way you expect, but they will come. And when they do, you will look back and realize that all the struggles, all the moments of doubt, were worth it. You have to be relentless in your pursuit of your goals. Relentlessness means refusing to give up, even when it feels like nothing is happening. It means pressing forward when you don't feel like it. It means putting in the work day after day, even when the results are invisible. Relentlessness means trusting the process and knowing that every step, even the difficult ones, are getting you closer to where you want to be. It's easy to quit when the going gets tough, but it takes true strength to keep moving forward when you don't see the immediate rewards. Trust that your effort is never wasted. Every single effort you put in today is building the momentum that will propel you forward tomorrow. And remember, the journey is as important as the destination. The process is where the magic happens. The process is what teaches you discipline, patience, focus, and resilience. The process is what builds your character and sharpens your abilities. If you skip the process, you miss the most important part of the journey, the transformation that happens along the way. Trusting your process means trusting that you are evolving every single day, whether or not you see it immediately. It's trusting that the small, seemingly insignificant actions are adding up to something big. When you trust the process, you stop seeking instant gratification. You stop expecting immediate results and start understanding that success is the result of consistent effort over time. The magic isn't in the quick wins. It's in the long haul. It's in the grind. It's in the effort that no one else sees. And the more you trust that, the more unstoppable you become. It's also important to remember that no one can define your process but you. The people around you might have their opinions, their advice, their judgments. But at the end of the day, you are the one who gets to decide how you show up, how you work, and how you stay committed to your goals. Trust your vision, trust your process, and keep moving forward. Don't let the noise of others drown out your inner voice. You are the architect of your success. So as you face the challenges ahead, keep your focus on what matters most. Trust that the work you're putting in will pay off. Trust that even when it feels like you're not moving forward, you are. Trust that your process is leading you to the results you desire. Keep moving forward, relentlessly. And when you look back, you'll see how far you've come. Trust the journey, trust yourself, and keep going.